When Arsenal was playing with PSG and Arsenal was beaten by 1-0, Ousmane Dembele, the goal scorer, went ahead to obviously get injured. And he came out and spoke out, plus his manager. And most of you have been really waiting for what the diagnosis is going to obviously say from the physios of PSG. I'm obviously going to be letting you know what we have really fished from that side of France ahead of that enticing fixture of Arsenal versus PSG. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, please endeavor to subscribe to this channel to not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is here, and let's see how things really go on. And we will eat that next Wednesday, and it's really gonna be the 7th of May. That's when we'll be knowing whether Arsenal will be through to the finals or not. And by the 7th, we'll be obviously getting to know who is obviously going to be playing in the final. Because on the 6th, Inter Milan is hosting Barcelona, and in the first leg it ended 3-3, and it's really going to be a hugely anticipated game for those that are really football purists. Because if the game had 6 goals at the stadium of Barcelona in Spain, that means it's obviously going to be very enticing. Now, Ousmane Dembele, the goal scorer, as Arsenal lost to PSG at home in the Champions League first leg, came out and said about the injury that he got. I felt a little something, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. That is it. So he's like, he felt something small and he felt like everything is going to be fine. Then his manager, that is Enrique, came out and said Ousmane Dembele will undergo tests on Wednesday. It doesn't look like a serious injury, but we will check for the return game. So Ousmane Dembele went ahead to undergo what we call the diagnosis, and Fabrizio Romano told us yesterday that Ousmane Dembele has been diagnosed with a hamstring injury as muscle strain in his right thigh. PSG confirms his situation is evolving, progressing favorably as per club's official report. Now, I tell you, the club is like, he might obviously feature into the game of Arsenal that they're going to be playing on Wednesday. You understand? And for Arsenal fans all over the world, they were like, all right, Ousmane Dembele is really having a hamstring injury and maybe is going to be out. And guess what? News coming in from the club is like, he's obviously going to be available, and he's really pushing to say to it that everything is in a stable condition. Fabrice Hawkins works for the RMC in France, said Ousmane Dembele's medical examination have revealed a small hamstring injury. He will be resting for the next few days and is hoping to recover in time to face Arsenal in the second leg. Now, whether Ousmane Dembele is there or not, I tell you, it's really going to be a very hard game for Arsenal. Now, let me first paint the situation that Ousmane Dembele is out. Obviously, when Ousmane Dembele is out, they have other players that can obviously play that side. Bakola can be switched to play as a right forward, you get? And then Doe can be played as a left forward. All else, they can get Kvaratskhelia onto the right, the deadly man who was responsible for that assist that saw Arsenal really get beaten at their hood. And then Ramos Goncalo leads the line, a man who missed a sitter by hitting that ball on the crossbar. So I think they will miss Ousmane Dembele. Reason, he's one of those players that has gone ahead to score very many goals, but I think they're really having deadly replacements. Talking about Ousmane Dembele in the Champions League, he has 8 goals and 3 assists, in 13 games, and that means he's averaging a goal or an assist in every game that he plays. Then League One, 28 games, he has 21 goals and 6 assists. French Cup, 3 games, 3 goals, and then in the Trophy des Champions, he really has 1 match and 1 goal. In total, this gentleman has gone ahead to really score, I think, 33 goals, and 10 assists, I think, this season. So he's really on fire, and that's why I tell you that PSG won't miss him, and they'll miss him. You know, they're having a very good squad, and there is a player that I thought, if he was the one who was really injured, then it would have gone ahead to be an easy game for the club of Arsenal. And I tell you, all I told you about Kvaratskhelia, you know, last time when I was really doing the match preview, I told you about Kvaratskhelia, and you saw how deadly Kvaratskhelia is. What makes him a very, very deadly player for Kvaratskhelia? It's because Kvaratskhelia is deadly because of how he really plays. You know, he can hit you hard like a shot from far. He can obviously score a free kick. You know, he can lead a counter attack or a solo counter attack. You know, he can make what we call a third man run. He can fight. You know, he can play around every forward position, and he gives them a lot, and that's why you saw to it that it was hard for Arsenal to obviously get to know who they're supposed to mark, because for Kvaratskhelia, he looked like he was being played off the left sometimes he drifted into the middle, as Ousmane Dembele also drifted to the wide right or left. So it was really hard because their mobility was very hard for Arsenal to read, and I think Arteta will find a solution for this. But what I'm seeing is PSG are trying to obviously send news to Arsenal that Ousmane Dembele is going to be available, and that means on the other side that it might be a bait for the club of Arsenal. Like, mind games are into play, and I won't be shocked if at all today I see one Arsenal player when he's really totally out, and the manager really plans to obviously take him or include him into the team later when they're training at the Sobha reality training on Tuesday before they head to France, because these mind games do a lot, as now Mikel Arteta has to do a game plan with Ousmane Dembele in and Ousmane Dembele out, or with Ousmane Dembele starting the game and playing like 60 minutes and going off, or Ousmane Dembele not starting the game and really coming off the bench. So all those game situations have to be catered for by the manager of Arsenal. That's what really makes this game really hard again, because these mind games are really very, very hard. But I know you have your own says, but Ousmane Dembele, I don't expect him to be part of the team of PSG that is going to be playing into what we call the game of football today at 18 hours as they pay a visit to Strasbourg. They've already gone ahead to lift the league, and Arsenal has to just play and really conclude its games, because when you look at Arsenal and where they are, I don't think there is a team that can really get Arsenal out of the top four, because they have 67 points with 4 games to go, and I think they only need, because if Newcastle wins all its 4 games, they'll be having 74 points. If Man City wins its remaining 3 games, they'll be having 73 points. And Arsenal needs to find themselves really continuing to win, and they're playing against Bournemouth today. So, as the table looks, Arsenal has 67 points. So, with 67 points, Arsenal needs more, I think, 7 points to see to it that they really seal their position. That is it. But all in all, they are 5 points clear ahead of Newcastle and 3 points clear ahead of Man City. So if they win their game today, they'll go to 70. Those are 7 clear points ahead of 7 clear points ahead of Man City, and 8 ahead of Newcastle, depending on how Newcastle will be performing. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Ousmane Dembele injury blow ahead of the Arsenal tie, and I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I'm waiting to see what your thoughts are in here onto the Rokani Media Football. We out for now, but don't forget to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more you'll meet the best of stories, and hit the notification bell so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David has been the man behind the microphone, and that is his voice for now. We'll return later with more news. Today, we've started all the way from PSG, And I'm returning with the transfer news, huge Gyökeres story, Muhammad Kudus, and very many others. Bye-bye.